With so much talk of over-the-counter hearing aids coming to the market soon, we wanted to do a little experiment of our own in our office and see how would a patient do setting up the new technology, and also how does it compare to some of the more mainstream brands that you may be familiar with. I'm Dr. Jana Austin with Allison Audiology here in Houston and Lake Jackson, and in our office we did just that. We were lucky enough to have a patient volunteer his time, and we are so thankful. He came into the office, and our goal of this experiment was to have him come in, set up the devices just like if he was at home by himself, and we treated him to lunch so that he could experience the over-the-counter option, also comparing that to the more mainstream brands that we had, like we said, so that he could really compare the sound quality, the feel, the fit, and also get his feedback. When we talk about some of these new over-the-counter options, for this experiment in particular, we were using the Bose hearing aid devices. We soon after got the information from Bose that they will no longer be making hearing aids or producing hearing aids themselves. So you can kind of read into that as you wish, but we still wanted to go ahead and publish this video because we still feel like it will be very common parallels between some of the technology that's coming and some of that technology that's already in the marketplace today. So when you first get hearing devices from over the counter or something that will be mailed to you, typically they will send you 2 of the hearing devices, and you'll also get some supplies that you'll need. So we did leave this out for our patient so that he could go through the box just like if he were to get it delivered to his house and put that technology together and attempt to pair it to his phone. You can see that it did take a little bit of time for him to read the instructions, go through, and then set up the hearing devices with the additional phone, and a little bit longer than what we actually thought, considering he's an experienced user. Then as we went on and we treated our patient to lunch for volunteering his time, we did have him try different hearing devices in that restaurant environment. Now we did sit outside, but if you're familiar with Houston, you know our traffic situation here. So even though we were out on the patio, it was not a quiet patio by any means. So we looked forward to getting his feedback at the end of the experience.
When I first opened the box and saw the instruction booklet, I was probably a little bit intimidated since I have not really kept up with the technologies that are out there regarding all electronic devices. And so when I actually got into the programming, though, I was a bit relieved to know that it was somewhat geared towards someone like myself. However, I was not successful in programming the devices simply because I couldn't get them to pair up to my iPhone. And so I was pretty much shut down from further attempts to get them activated. So luckily, I happened to be in the presence of an audiologist where we were evaluating these hearing aids from Bose, and we ended up having to get a different cell phone to pair to, which could have said something about my cell phone needing updating or something. For sure and certain, the clarity of the prescription hearing aids, probably the level of tuning that they're able to do and programming for my specific hearing loss, it just seemed like the over-the-counter hearing aids didn't offer the level of noise reduction or the clarity of the person that I was trying to focus on. For me personally, there would be a challenge there to go through all the steps, probably about a level 8 out of 1 to 10, with 10 being the most difficult. You cannot begin to address your hearing loss without a diagnostic test. So without the test, you really don't need to know where you don't know where you are or where you need to be heading. I think I would spend my money on an audiologist with a very comprehensive hearing test and then a set of hearing devices recommended for me and fitted to me. I still believe that anybody would benefit from a visit to a professional to get the utmost performance out of their devices. First step would be to consult a professional just to get a hearing test, a baseline hearing test, and then proceed from there.
We hope that you found this video helpful. We still feel like even though the technology is no longer being manufactured for this video, it's still applicable to all of the technology that's coming down the pipeline soon.